Ready for a deep dive, everyone? We're heading straight back into the Tang Dynasty today,
Always a fascinating period.
and we're doing it with a single poem. How about that?
A single poem can reveal so much, though, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially one like this. It's Yuan Zhen's Traveling Palace.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, and it's going to be our guide, our window into Tang Dynasty life beyond the emperors and the battles,
Right into the heart of it.
Exactly.
It's incredible what survives, what these little fragments tell us.
Right. And this poem, let me tell you, it's short, but it is dense, packed with details.
It really gives you a sense of place, which I always find so powerful in a poem.
You're totally right. So the title, Traveling Palace, even that's kind of, I don't know, a little melancholic. But then that very first word, boom, desolate.
It's interesting you pick up on that, the mood. Yuan Zhen really sets the stage.
Oh, yeah. It's intentional, right? Like,
Yeah.
What's he doing with that word?
It's more than just describing a building, right? Desolate has this weight, this sense of loss. He's evoking a whole era.
Mm-hmm. Things fading away. And then he gives us this image of lonely red palace flowers. I mean,
Beautiful, but so sad.
it's like all this beauty, but for who? It's just withering away.
Yeah, like a memory of something grander.
Okay, so we've got this feeling of desolation, faded beauty, and then he brings in the people.
The white-haired palace women. My gosh, that line always hits me.
They've seen it all, haven't they?
You can just imagine, stuck within those walls year after year, decade after decade, dynasties rise and fall, and they're right there for it.
And for anyone who's maybe not as familiar with the Tang Dynasty, emperors often had, well, large harems.
Yes, it wasn't uncommon.
But these women, they're living out their lives in this palace.
It makes you wonder about the dynamics, right? The relationships between those women, the things they saw.
Right. Imagine the stories they could tell.
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget, this is the Tang Dynasty. We're talking about centuries of incredible artistic and cultural development in China.
Yeah, like the Tang Dynasty was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Poetry, painting, calligraphy, it was exploding.
Exactly. And these women, they would have been surrounded by that. But now their world is quieter.
Yeah, like their whole world shrunk down to this palace.
Right.
Okay, and there's another detail I got to bring up. They're talking of Xuanzong.
Yeah.
Now, Xuanzong, he was kind of a big deal, even for a Tang emperor, right?
Absolutely. Remembered for his love of the arts, his patronage, and of course his relationship with Yang Guifei.
Right, his consort, Yang Guifei. Famous beauty. Their love story is practically legendary.
Absolutely tragic, too, as many of these grand love stories often are. But I digress.
No, but it's important because the poem says they're talking about him. It's like they're clinging to the past,
Oh, I think so. That's what's so poignant about it. Once that palace buzzed with activity, with power, now it's just whispers and memories.
It really makes you think about how sleeting it all is, huh? Even for emperors.
It's a classic theme, isn't it? The Tang Dynasty, for all its vibrancy, they understood impermanence. You see it in their art, too. Think about the pottery, the calligraphy, this beauty, always aware of its own fragility.
That's such a great point. I never thought about it like that. It's like Yuan Zhen. He's doing that in this poem, too. This mix of beauty, nostalgia, regret, maybe even a little, I don't know, criticism of how easily power fades.
It's all there, isn't it? Packed into these few lines.
It's amazing. And, it really leaves you wondering about those palace women, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What were their stories? What was it like for them inside that traveling palace?
Exactly. It's a good reminder that even in these grand historical narratives, there are always these individual lives. Each one, a whole world we can barely even begin to grasp.
So much we'll never know. But
Yeah.
fascinating to think about, right?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of history, isn't it? Always more to uncover.
Always more to uncover.